Hi, my name is Terry Lynch. I'm the CEO of Power Metallic Mines. We're in Nemaska, Quebec, and we're advancing the advanced stage copper nickel PGM project called Nisk, and things have been going pretty well for us. We'll talk to you more about it soon.
Understatement of the year.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had a great year.
Yeah, we had a killer year.
Yeah.
Top mining stock in Canada, so that would take that one and move on. I mean, so that was good, but I think it's early days for us. We really think we're just on the scratch the surface of what to say.
That to me every time.
And I've proved to you every time that I was right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good. You also started this year quite well. Raised $50 million. What are we going to do with that?
Basically, 40 of it was flow through, so we'll be putting that in exploration. So we'll probably drill like 100,000 meters here between here and end of 26.
Okay.
So the reason why we got the capital is that obviously we were trading a pretty significant discount to what our peers are. That's why you don't get 50 million unless there's a bargain in it for the boys. Otherwise, they're not writing the checks. Mm-hmm. But they stepped in and they could see that, hey, look, this thing's a double or triple based on what they've already done. But it looks like there's a lot more exploration growth. So the fundamental catchphrase is that in these orthomagmatic deposits, which is what we discovered, and the last one was discovered in Finland by Anglo maybe 17 years ago. Before that was Voisey's Bay. There's maybe 25 of these in the history of the world. They're either giant or supergiants. So we're at the early days of it. The analysts say we're 8 to 10 million tons of like 5% copper. We've obviously got the historic nickel deposit of another 8 million tons of 1.25% or something. So in between that 5.5 kilometers, which is now stretched to maybe 6.5, we don't know what's there. That's what we need to find. So we're open, multiple faces, and the interesting number that we got in our presentation, there's a triangle that Dr. C. Beresford created where he has nickel in one corner, copper, and the PGs, noble mills in the top. And looking at these polymetallics, the orthomagmatic ones, on average for every 1 ton of copper you'll find 5 tons of nickel sulfide underneath it. And it ranges between 2 to 7. So right now we're 1 to 1. Soon to be 1.5 copper to 1 nickel, just because we're focusing on the $500 rock.
Right. Okay.
But so likely we're going to find a boatload of nickel sulfide along the way, even while we're growing our copper. So this means this is going to be big.
Yeah.
If Sakatti was 40 million tons, we're right now arguably 15 million tons. We're going to get to Sakatti for sure, in my mind. But Voisey's Bay was 140 million tons. Can we get there? Maybe.
Right. Okay. But you're in no rush to actually go and upgrade the resource for now. 100,000 meters.
Yeah. So we're following sort of the Great Bear Philo approach, where put out your drill collars, put out your azimuths, get the metallurgy out, so that people can independently model it. As long as you're growing it rapidly, and we haven't found the perimeter of this thing yet, so it's like keep on growing. The best news for our shareholders is that we don't put out the resources because it's growing so much. So that's what we're trying to do.
I kind of like the strategy in the sense that as long as you're putting out the data, people can model it. The people who matter can model it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And have.
And you don't need to get distracted
exactly.
or spend the money.
Well, and because then you get pigeonholed on a number. It's either above expectations or below expectations, but it pigeonholes you.
Yeah.
And you added growth, but they don't believe you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just keep going with the pace you're at, then they'll keep on modeling you up.
So that's interesting then, because that means that the people that you want to talk to matter a lot. So you're giving them the data because they can do it. Coming to that kind of share register, that kind of evolving share register, you raised $50 million. Like I say, you probably could have been a bit tougher, but you got to leave something on the table, a little bit of something on the table for them too.
100%.
So, what's the profile of the people on this new round?
So interesting enough, probably 40+% of it was from Australia, institutions in Australia.
Really?
Yeah. And we've got some of Australia's obviously smartest individual investors like Gina Reinhardt and the Faraday family and these types of people, the Cohens.
Okay.
So there's sponsorship down there, but Taylor Collison did a great job, for us down there, and we appreciate that. And then the Europeans come in probably for 25-30% out of the UK. Yeah.
70.
So and then all institutional funds, and then U.S. institutions come in.
Right.
And then we had, of course, Robert Friedman, about 20%, and Rob McEwen, about 10%. And so obviously our big sort of guru mining guys continue to go with us. So that's been great. And that gives everyone confidence when those guys continue to write checks, serious checks. So that's been the makeup, So
Right.
it was good group of. We felt all these guys could buy a lot more stock, and they nobody got as much as they wanted, but they got in,
Okay.
and so that was the thinking.
So was this great? So 100,000 meters. Did you get that with $50 million bucks?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. It's probably all in. We're talking everything, maybe 360 a foot.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've heard a lot worse. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. And obviously, you're chasing. Yeah, we got you got Line 1 and Line 1 East, etc.
Tiger now.
Tiger. Well, everyone's changing names. What's happening? Did you have a brainstorming session somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know. We eventually landed on Tiger for whatever reason. Just
Right.
keep with the cat thing.
Okay, keep it a cat thing. Okay, so what are you chasing? Not your tail, hopefully.
Yeah, no. I mean, so basically, the line discovery was found an airborne anomaly that was ultramafic expression at surface. We drilled it and we got lucky. I mean, let's be honest. We were looking for nickel sulfide and no idea that thing existed up there as a copper sulfide, but thank you God, he was there. And, there's lots of legends about this. It was funny. I was in London just a few weeks ago on this road trip, and I was texting with Robert Freeland. I said, is there anyone you want me to see when I'm in London? He said, well, you should go see Ivanhoe when you're there. Give our technical team an update. So I went over there and I gave him the pitch. And the origin story, I don't know if you know this, on Lion was that we were drilling Nisk. The average drill hole was 400 meters. Okay. And we had 200 meters left in the drill budget. And at this point, it's being financed by me and my friends, and they're saying, Terry, do you want to throw some more money in and drill one more hole at Nisk? I'm saying, well, I'd rather do it in the market because we can do the 2-for-1s in Quebec and I can get more guys in. So I said, no, so what do we have for 200 meters? And I said, well, we've got this, area up in the northeast that's really looks attractive. It's 5.5 kilometers away, but we think it's sort of cool. We should drill it. I'm thinking, okay, let's drill it. And that was the Lion Zone. So how cool is that? So I told that story to Ivanhoe, and they said, well, we'll do one better. And I said, we were actually firing people in Vancouver on Oyotobo. They hit it on the last hole.
Yeah.
So how crazy is that? So, I mean, this is mining, right? These things happen. And, we did the right thing, but we got extremely lucky. And you got to have a little bit of luck in this life. If everyone claims that they're some genius, figure this shit out.
It's genius afterwards.
It's genius afterwards. We did the right things and we got lucky, and we thank you very much for that luck.
Yeah, no,
every day.
There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of very wealthy men in this space who've hit it on the last hole.
100%. 100%.
Okay, so in terms of the nature of the drilling, in terms of how does that get phased, and how do you take that data? And,
So the cool thing was, once we had the airborne anomaly and we got lucky with it and we found it, then the science comes in. So the technology is really good in the space. So you can use borehole EM, or what's called downhole EM, and you send the tool down in your drill hole afterwards, and you take a flash up and down, and it basically tells you if there's a sulfide plate within 75 to 150 meters. And then once it doesn't give you exact coordinates, but it gives you a pretty good idea. And so then you drill out and hit those plates, and our drill rate success has been 50% because we've been using this technique. Okay.
what was it before?
You know what? I mean, we
Less or more?
the first round was like just drilling pin. We had 15, 16. Right, the first round, but that was just a miracle.
Okay, okay.
Going as you're spreading out.
It's not this ant technology that you talked
No,
about.
that wasn't the ant, but the ant helped us too, because it defined the faults.
Right.
So we now knew we were drilling within the faults, and we didn't have to go outside here. We just pound down to there and go from there. So it was a combination of these things. Now, on the Tiger Zone, which is 700 meters to the east, we stepped out and we drilled an airborne anomaly.
Yeah.
First one, nothing, had a sniff. Sent down the machine and said further to the left, drilled it.
Yeah.
Better sniff, but still not the prize. Said still further to the left, drilled it, bango, hit the Tiger Zone. We haven't published that yet, but that's hole 94. That'll be a hot one that's coming soon. And we think there's no new zone there. So we got rig number 1 staying on Lion, continuing to grow Lion. It's got ability to grow east, west, and south. We got rig number 2 staying over Tiger, just drilling holes there. Rig number 3 is drilling further west of Lion, and an area that the borehole suggests was productive. So we'll see. That's just going down now. So
That's those three, and then the other two.
so the other two, we've actually, we just got the money like this week.
Right.
So we actually have to, our core cutting facilities and handling facilities really were built maxed for 3. So we have to upgrade those facilities. It'll take us. Reality is we won't get the 4th and 5th rigs on until June.
Okay.
That's the reality of it.
But you know where they are.
Yeah. I
what's
mean,
the market
we've
like
got.
at the moment?
You know what? We're good. Yeah. Generally the market's still soft. There's
Yeah.
the lithium boom is off. So there's lots of drill rigs out there. So we're able to get good drillers at competitive pricing. That everyone makes $1, but not crazy. We've got capacity at our camp, so we're blessed there. So we're able to spend the money wisely, not
Right.
like burn it. So
And how's the reporting now as a result of this softer market? Quicker?
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I would say a little bit quicker.
So
Yeah,
anyone telling me it's not quick, I should question.
yeah.
I've heard a few of those.
You know what's funny? We had one one of the things we did for '94 is that it because it's more of like a footwall type of deposit or zone. Is it's possible that footwall contains some premium PGEs like rhodium and the other germanium, whatever. So that assay actually has to go to South Africa. So so unfortunately, what we should have done was done a regular assay and then send the pulps to South Africa, and it can come back whenever it comes back. But we actually sent the whole thing there, and so that won't happen again. But so that thing is probably 4 weeks. We would have thought. I was planning to have it for PDAC, to be honest with you, but these little boo boos, but no biggie in the long run. So, but generally speaking, it's a 6 to 7 week turnaround for us.
Okay, so on the rigs and the kind of the physical like storage of the drill core, etc., you're having to boost things like. What about the team in all aspects? Because you're kind of the big boy league now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we did a smart thing when we started this thing. We realized that, a couple things. Tax-wise in Canada, you're better off to hire really great consultants
Right.
than hire great people. Because it's for a little guy, it's super hard to recruit great people.
Yeah.
Because people have to leave jobs and they're coming with a guy that, as you know, may or may not get financed. And how do you sort of take care of the mortgage and the wife and the kids? And so it's tough. So as a result, you tend to not get as high quality people as you'd like to attract. So we went GeoVector is like one of the top 2 consulting firms in the country that got a huge bench strength. And so obviously we're their number 1 client at the moment. And so we've got full access to that. And it's the quickest way for us to scale. And we are able to write those guys off 100%, whereas internally it's only 70. So
Right.
yes, we're paying them more than we would have paid the internal guy, but still a savings for us. And we got the best people. And we can scale.
You got the quality.
Yeah.
Talk to me about these Australians. So obviously Gina's in. Obviously, she's a big deal, right?
Yep.
Why are they looking to you and not so focused on Australia? What are they seeing?
So I mean, I think we started to get scoped down there with Dr. Beresford, right? Because he's a legit rock star. Like he was chief geologist at First Quantum, and then he went to MMG and IGO, all major Aussie success stories, I would say. So I was just down there like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we did a bunch of obviously financial meetings there,
Right.
and I would be in the room physically, and Steve would be by satellite because he was in Perth, and so his wife was away, so he couldn't travel that week. But everyone would come in and say, "Hi, Steve." It's like everyone knew Steve.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, so I think that one of the reasons why the Aussie investors invest with us is because they trust Steve and they know that he's a world-class geologist.
Yeah.
And he's not going to put his name with a podunk company, and clearly the drill results suggest that this is pretty special resource. So there was that, and then we got in the first round, we got Terra Capital, and they're like super sharp group of guys, Jeremy Bond and his team, and then they're closely associated with the Faraday family, and so then we started to get some, they got to know us, made money in the first round. So they're more inclined to stepping up in the second round. They saw how we executed, that we did what we said we were going to do, and focused on delivering the results. And so that's how it goes. If you do what you say you're going to do and deliver the results, people will give you more. They got lots of capital to invest. It's just like most guys don't deliver the goods.
It's so easy to say, but it seems so hard to do in this industry.
Well, I mean, the challenge, of course, is the drill bit is the ultimate god. Yeah. So it's like it's easy to say we deliver the goods, but it's really the drill bit that delivered the goods. But we did at least focus on the drill bits, got the drills done, and got the assays. We did the take care of knitting, and we had smart people planning the program smartly and executing it. Right.
Right. Well, it sounds like drill bit's going to get going. We'll get these additional two drills going June, July this year at some point. Information will be flowing sort of steadily out into the market, and people can.
Yeah. So I think what's happening, we've got 3 analysts covering us now. We'll soon be 5. So, and then each analyst will be sort of competing with their, understanding of the resource and the grade, etc. So I think that, people will be, generally these things, theoretically, the way they're supposed to be valued is as you grow the value in the ground, the value in the stock should grow too, right? So that's sort of how we would expect. So as we continue to sort of put out hits and assays, well, it's obviously adding more resources, and each of these should incrementally move the dial at some point, and then you get re-rated, and then at some point, people start to make comparisons. And the reason why when we went out this round, we sort of changed our comparables, showed, let's look at the copper companies in Canada and let's look at us. And like we're trading literally at like 30 cents on the dollar relative to what they've got in the ground, relative to what analysts say we've got in the ground. That's why people invested. So at some point we'll get revalued. We'll move up, I suspect, just on what we've already found. And then it's like, if we keep on finding, well, it should keep on growing, So that's the theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite simple.
It is quite simple, and it's the question. And the good news is that we got sticky investors. We got people like, it was funny. I was in a meeting with this massive Turkish investor who we've been dealing with for the last couple of years. And we said we had 14 billionaires in the deal, and his chief of staff was with me. He said, "Well, you actually got 15. You didn't know you had this guy. He's in the deal." So I said, "Great," because this guy's like, certified well.
So the rich guys know something.
You know what the rich guys do is they've got smart advisors, and they're not looking to make 10% on these deals. They're looking to make several times their money, and they probably have a basket of them, and they'll step in and see how you do. And if they think you're a good manager of capital and you continue to deliver the goods, they'll put more money with you. That's what they do. So.
Well, I'm going to keep this conversation simple.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
That's a great update, and just really simple set of tasks for me. Just follow your drill bit.
That's pretty much it.
That's
That's how I'd measure it. Yep.
Okay, Terry, thanks.
Awesome.
Good to see you. Are you going to tell me again? We need to tell me again that you're undervalued.
Well,
so you can tell me next time I see you, I told you so.
Here is the quote. 2024, we were the top 400 mining stock in the country. I think, I don't know, it's 360% increase or something like that. And I'm quoted as saying, we'll do better in 2025. So there we go.
Fine.
I'll leave that with you.
And you're going to say, I told you so when I next see you.
We will.
Good. See you then.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Bye.